Hey, Kandis, what's new?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Good.
Hey, we always like
What's
to talk
in
about
the
fun
news?
things. Well, listen, I have this interesting thing. It's been one of those weeks. So, do you know what a love contract is?
I do not.
Okay, not that we're going to have one, but it is really interesting. And so I thought Forbes, of all publications, does an annual workplace romance survey. Some interesting statistics caught my attention, and then it sort of led me to love contracts and so forth. Over 60% of adults have had workplace relationships. And of those, 43% have actually gotten married. What's not to like about that? Right? I mean, this is all a good thing. Well, there's plenty not to like about it if you're an employer. And since I'm management side employment law attorney, let me walk you through a few of those things. For example, 57% of those surveyed who had workplace relationships reported that it had a negative effect on their work performance. So if I'm an employer, I'm going to be concerned about that.
Okay.
And think of the water cooler gossip that's generated by workplace relationships, and also concerns about employee favoritism. You like that person more than me because you've got a relationship with them.
I've had some real life experience with this.
So you know about that. So this can be a real challenge for employers. It can be a real challenge for employees too, because if it has an impact on your work performance, it can have an impact on your career. So
but then how do you tell the boss about it when it's the boss's girlfriend that's causing you the issues?
So employers have some legal liability, and a lot of it stems from Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So Title VII does not outlaw workplace romantic relationships, but it does make it unlawful to engage in workplace harassment. And in the case of workplace relationships, we're talking about sexual harassment, unwanted sexual conduct, comments, and so forth. So employers are liable for workplace sexual harassment.
Could it also be an environment? I mean, talking about the water cooler stuff. I mean, could it be a
hostile work environment?
I was like, what's the legal equivalent of a toxic workplace? That I could think could be.
Yeah, it would take a lot, but then you're onto something there. So look, the primary concern for employers is sexual harassment, and so when relationships are going well, they're consensual, things are going great, there's no problem because there's no harassment. But when relationships are not going so well, or they end, or there is an unequal level of power between the parties to the relationship, that's when the trouble can start. This is particularly the case when you've got a relationship, a workplace romantic relationship between a supervisor and a subordinate. This can lead to all sorts of mischief, even when things don't happen. When the relationship goes bad, then the subordinate many times says, "Yeah, but the supervisor asked me for sex."
Was that really consensual?
It really wasn't consensual.
Was it because
I felt pressured. So, this is where it gets really difficult. So, what's an employer to do?